Hello everybody, and welcome back to Cynthia's Comfy Corner. It has been a minute since I have done a video, but nevertheless, I am so glad to be back. I have been dealing with a lot of things, obviously, and for those of you, got my 7-month preggy belly. So what I wanted to do today is do a cooking video for my Instagram page, but also I'll be posting it to Facebook as well, because I had inquiries on how to make my vegan rice pudding, or arroz con leche, the way we say in Spanish. So I am so happy to be able to be doing this tutorial for you, for everybody that wants to try something or go vegan, or even if you're not vegan or vegetarian but you just want to try an alternative to dairy loaded stuff, or even like super low sugar loaded stuff, right? I'll be going through the ingredients and the process on how I make my particular arroz con leche. So follow along with me, and I can't wait. All right, so the very first thing we're gonna do is we are gonna take 2 cups. So this recipe is for 2 cups of rice. And this is the particular rice that I use. It's called Rico Arroz, and you can find it in any store that you go to, Walmart, Publix, on and on and on, right? So you wanna go ahead and make sure that the rice is nice and rinsed. You wanna go ahead and get all of that starch out as usual, as per, if you know how to make rice. You wanna just go ahead and get all of that water out, right? All right, so when it comes to the water level with the arroz con leche, I brought it, relatively up to my second knuckle, my middle finger knuckle. I can add a little bit more, but like I said, don't worry too much about, being precise, because as you're cooking, you may be adding more water as you go. Like I said, because you don't want the rice to dry out, you don't want it to be hard rice, absolutely none of that. You want it to be very nice and melt in your mouth. Okay, so like normal rice, you're just going to be, you're gonna boil it like normal. You're going to put it up to, I have it on high, right, on your normal boiling point on your stove. So I always use some kind of organic cane or raw sugar. Today I'm going to be using the sugar in the raw. This is one of my favorite types of sugar to use in my baking and in my cooking. So I put 4 tablespoons. This is a 2 tablespoon. Sorry, forgive my cats in the background. This is a 2 tablespoon spoon. So I put 4. I put 2 of these, right, making it 4 tablespoons. And I go ahead and you just go ahead and mix that up. Brown sugar or, darker sugar doesn't have as much of a sugary taste. I'm gonna add just a bit more, because I want the sugar, just like if you're making rice with salt, you want the salt to have, you want the water to have that adequate amount of salt, right? You keep adding to taste. I don't know. I hope I'm not going over by it, but so far I never have, so. You keep adding the sugar to your taste, to your particular taste. Like I said, I always start off with 4 tablespoons. If that's not enough, then you go ahead and you keep adding. I think that's decent for now, because later on we're gonna add, the condensed milk, and that's going to most definitely add that last bit of sugar that is needed. But I said, as you go along, as you're tasting the rice, if it needs more sugar, as you add more water, you go ahead and you add more. Now, just like in rice, you add oil, and I am using this cold pressed unrefined coconut oil, so as organic as you can get it. Again, everybody's tastes and budgets are different, so whatever oil that you prefer to use, but my personal preference for my arroz con leche is the is the virgin unrefined organic coconut oil. Okay, so what you're gonna do is take just a tiny bit, right? Not a lot, to give the rice that, you know, that extra softness. The same way you would making a normal pot of rice, you would add a bit of oil. So I would add maybe about a teaspoon and a half to 2 teaspoons, depending on how much oil you want to use. But good thing that, you know, coconut oil is not one of those oils that you really need to look out for, because that's that good healthy fat that you want to have in your dishes if you cook with oils. Coconut oil, avocado oil, but obviously I don't want to put avocado in my rice. You're going to be cooking this for quite a bit, and you want to be constantly stirring. Constantly stirring is one of the keys to making this rice. You don't really want to leave it unattended too long. So yeah. So that is the first part of making the arroz con leche. I will finish up in a second part video if you would like to continue. What I did forget to add, good thing it hasn't really boiled yet, is ground cinnamon. Some people use whole sticks of cinnamon to make their rice, and that's perfectly okay. I personally, this one time I just didn't have the sticks of cinnamon. So what I did, I was like, well, let me just throw this in the mix just to see what happens. And it came out just as delicious, right? So you just add cinnamon to your liking while the rice is cooking, which is really important because you want the rice to cook with the cinnamon in it. And then obviously at the end you use it as a garnish, but you definitely want to cook it with that nice cinnamony flavor. And while it's cooking, you know, it's my virgin mimosa, baby. But while you're cooking, you know, enjoy a Netflix, enjoy a drink, enjoy your family, because this might take a little while. But the main element is not to leave it alone. So cheers to you guys. When you get it nice and boiling like this, like I said, while it's boiling, you want to be moving it. You do not want the bottom of the pot to get stuck. So you're going to be moving and moving and moving and moving, right? But it's starting to get low. When that water starts to get low, you're going to go ahead and add a bit more water, because obviously at this point you know that the rice is just not done, but the rice is about to be at a level where it's not enough water. So we're going to go ahead and add a bit more water. It's going to, whoops, spilling all over the place. It's going to stop the boiling process, right? But you just add a glass of water and you continue stirring. All right. All right, final cup of water, guys. I did try to make it a half, but it is a whole. This is the 5th cup of water and the final one, because as you can see, you have the consistency right there of a very nice pudding-like, right? Nice and thick. You want to lower it down to about as low as you can, to a simmer or a 1. And just keep mixing, keep trying to make sure that the rice comes out nice and soft, or to the point that you want it to be. Right before we take it off the heat and add the milks. Alrighty guys, so once you are all done, once you have gotten the consistency that you want for your rice, you're going to add, you can add any coconut milk, but this is the one that I love to use. This is coconut silk milk. And you just want to add a cup of that, a cup to your rice pudding, to your arroz con leche, and you're just going to go ahead and mix that in. Make sure that it is nice and mixed in. Have some tea or coffee brewing in the background because you are going to need it. So we're mixing that up. And then the final piece de resistance is the sweetened condensed coconut milk. You can find, I get these at Walmart. You can get them, if I get them at Walmart, you can get them anywhere. This is dairy free. So absolutely, if you want to go vegetarian, vegan, however you want, this is perfect for your particular. And I like to add semi the whole can. I mean, I'm not gonna like scrape it, but I just let that drip a tiny little bit before just turning it over. And then mixing all of that in. All of this off of the heat. Please remember to take off the heat, turn off the heat, or move it to a cooler side of the stove. And you're gonna be mixing that in, mixing. Once that is added, also the coconut flakes. Like I said, my particular arroz con leche is primarily and solely coconut based. So if you want to add other things in there that you like raisins or nuts even, if that's something that you like to do. But I just go ahead and, it's my bag. So I just do about a handful or two. I just sprinkle that in. And then it gets mixed. Gets mixed right in. Then to finalize your garnish, you're just gonna add the same ground cinnamon that I cooked the rice in. You're just gonna go ahead and sprinkle that on top, without the spoon, of course. And you have a gorgeous, beautiful, delicious vegan arroz con leche. And here is your final product, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little tiny tutorial. If you have any questions, DM me, message me, comment down below, share this recipe, and thank you guys so much for your love and your support. Bye.